So, yesterday we left off at the facial expressions. First one is anger, then fear, disgust, happiness, surprise, sadness is your final one, and then contempt is your seventh one. That will be on your test for tomorrow. Any questions on that? Everyone feeling pretty good? So, today you have a couple of options. I can help you fill out the front. I can kind of walk you through your emotion theories in case you haven't filled out the back yet. Okay, I told you exactly how I want the back to be filled out. It looks like a lot of you did exactly what I wanted, so I appreciate that. Okay? Or I can help you fill out the front. What would you prefer? I'm going to ask you boards at some point. Help you out at the front? All right, so perfect. So, what do you have a question about? No one has a question at all, so we don't need anything. All right. What's up?
Actually, like, what about the stuff that says, like, amygdala roll and, like...
Okay, amygdala roll.
All this, like, brains.
It's next year. I've already shifted it. It should be on last week's stuff, but it's here now. So you need to know it for AP. You just don't need it for your test.
Okay, so we just like it.
No, it's in there. Amygdala role in emotions. Amygdala holds all of your aggressive anger and is in charge of your fight or flight.
Wait, can you repeat that?
Amygdala is in charge of your aggression, your anger, and your fight or flight. And the larger your amygdala, the more emotions you have. I think I have a very large amygdala. I have a lot of rage, and I have a lot of emotions, and I go through them very quickly.
I
Yes.
thought it was, like, fear.
Fear, aggression, fear, anger, that all works. All right. So every time you see a ghost, your amygdala is working, I guess. All right, what else? What do you got, Eva?
Right lobe and left lobe.
Okay, your right lobe is going to be all of your serious emotions. Okay, your anger, your hostility, your bitterness, resentment. Okay? It is also going to be with, it's also the more vocal of the emotions. The left side is your left lobe is your happier emotions. Positive emotions, this is your happiness, joy, content. What would be another happy emotion? Positive one. Surprise, yeah, there we go. That is all held on the left side. Your left side, think about it. What does the left side of your brain control? Who can do it for me? Who can do it? Don't even pretend you don't know this. I know you know this. Noah. And?
Learning.
Linear. Language, logic, linear. It's also your more creative. You're all high of all that. All right. Are we good? What else?
Is the left side with the visual things on?
That's on both sides.
What's the angry / happy?
What, Dora?
The areas.
Broca is going to be on language. So Broca is broken jaw and language production. So it's going to be on your left side because it deals with language. Huh? Or Nikki, what? Language comprehension. All right. You asked about the angry man, sad man. Okay, so what is the angry man, sad man, or whatever it is? Angry man, happy man, whatever it is. What happens is a gentleman is what it is you are going to have people who are part of an experiment. They're called what? Participant. Fine. Participants are going to be injected with arousal hormones. What that means is that they're going to be more likely to experience more emotions. Does that make sense? They're injected with it. Then they are put in the room with a confederate. Who can tell me what's a confederate? Someone with a hand. Madison.
They're like in on the experiment.
Yeah, they're in on the experiment. In one room, they're going to have an angry confederate. In one room, they're going to have a happy confederate. I don't think any of us will be surprised. In the room with the angry confederate, people who have this arousing hormone, which just means that your heart rate is increasing, you're more likely to participate, you're more likely to be involved because like your heart rate's going, your blood is going and stuff like that. In the angry room with the angry Confederate, they're going to get incredibly angry. One guy is in there as a Confederate who's angry. He ends up getting all of the 15 people all riled up. In the happy room, he walks in, everyone's just kind of sitting there in their chairs, just kind of like, like wondering what's happening next. And he's just a happy guy, and he gets everyone in a good mood. Okay, everyone laughing and giggling and stuff like that. So what that shows us is that based on your arousal, your environment shapes your emotional response. Your environment shapes your emotional response and arousal state. So if you want to be in a good mood, you hang out with good people who are funny. If you want to be cranky, you hang out with people like myself, and I'll bring you down. You're welcome. Bella?
The cultural variations, facial expressions.
Okay, cultural variations of facial expressions. Every culture is a little bit different. I come from an Italian, Irish, Catholic background. We're very loud. We love to use our hands. I don't know if you've noticed. I'm very animated. And we have a lot of aggression. It's the Irish, it's the Catholic side. I really feel like that's where that comes from, but that's fine. So my cultural background, depending on it. Now, who comes from like a hot house or a cold house? What that means is how hot are the temperatures of your emotions? I come from a hot house. If someone comes in, barreling into the house, and is like really loud, the whole house explodes in noise and emotions. People are pissed, people are upset, people are raging. My mom says, shut the hell up. Everyone's just up in arms if there's something going on. Some people's houses, like McCrae's parents, I could literally, nothing happens. Everything's just wonderful. Oh, wow. I'm pretty sure they're horrified when they come to my parents' house. Because it's just loud, boisterous, and there's just so much going on. And at McCrae's parents' house, wow, would you like a cup of tea? Sure, why not? So McCrae's parents have a very cold temperature house. My parents' house is hot temperature, as in they've got so many emotions. Like when I leave my parents' house, I'm emotionally exhausted. There's just so much going on. Who would say they have a hot house? There's just a lot of things going on all the damn time, and everyone's in emotional swings. All right, who here is a cold house where everything kind of stays the same? Like, that's nice. Your sanity must be intact. That's so nice. All right. So when we talk about that, Bella, if you're a hot house or a cold house, that's where we have the cultural. Okay, so like for instance, Skylar, what are your parents? Actually, I'm skipping you. I'm going straight to James. Are you a hot house or a cold house?
Cold.
Yeah, there's no way you're British. Of course you have to be cold. No offense. Like British, I mean, they were just like, well.
We avoid conflict.
Exactly. There's no way. If you're British, you're avoiding conflict. If you're Irish, you got to get into the middle of it. Okay? If you're Hispanic, one of my good friends is Cuban. Every time a small thing happens, it is like the worst thing in the history of the world has occurred in all of the family. Like I'm talking uncles, aunts, grandparents all have to descend to talk about this one scenario. And they have to like game plan it, and people are crying, people are raging. It's the craziest thing. My house is not that crazy, but damn. Okay, so who else has a cold house? Madison?
Yeah.
Why?
It's not my
What's your
dad's
culture?
house. He's got like Welsh and like
Well,
yeah.
they've
And then
been controlled
he's
for
also-
centuries, so.
yeah, and
Just
then his
kinda
fiance
live
is really like similar, and they're both just really like quiet, and they don't really.
There you go.
So.
There you go. Who's got a crazy house? Who's got a crazy house? Mia, what's your culture?
Dominican, Irish, and
I've been wanting to ask you this
Native
for like
American.
centuries now. Really? Because you are just everything. It's a very pretty everything. But I've just wanted to know for so long, so I'm so glad I got the question. Say it again one more time.
Dominican, Irish, and Native American.
You got a whole lot of spectrum there.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So what is the loudest? The Dominican side?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. You're Latin American. It's definitely hot. Anyone? We had some Chinese. I have a Chinese girl. Like her mom, she's first generation Chinese, and she's like literally it's either complete quiet or just complete chaos. Yeah? And so it's just kind of interesting. That's your cultural variations. Some houses, it's just completely quiet. I had a Japanese student last year in AP Psych, and she's like, we've never had a situation in my house. We talk about everything very rationally. I'm like, okay, that's the Japanese component of it. So it just culturally depends on how much emotion. I'm Irish. I'm Irish and Italian, so we have more emotions than we need. James is British. He has like 6, and that's really all you need, right? It is on a good day. Mostly 4. Judgmental, bitter, happy, and content. That's not bad. All right, that's your cultural variations. All right, what else do you need?
The frontal lobes.
Frontal lobes. Okay, your frontal lobes are going to make us have more complicated emotions than, say, Toby. Okay, so what is an emotion that we experience that my little puppy wouldn't experience?
Jealousy.
I don't know.
You
I
think
don't
he's
know.
jealous?
I think he
Of the
definitely
cats?
does. So, yeah, there's definitely jealousy. They understand that someone else is getting something they're not. Like, it's so funny. So Toby still has his cone on. So he can't live like in his kennel. So he's just been like living. He's like a free range puppy right now. And so he has demanded that his spot is McCrae's spot on the couch. And McCrae was home this week. So every time McCrae, like, he gets home at like 7:30 at night from work, gets on, eats dinner, and then gets on the computer and starts working. So if he gets up to go get like a drink or go answer a phone call, Toby runs to his spot and sits there because Toby spends all day there and all night there, and he thinks it's his. That's jealousy. He gets very crazy. Skylar, what's an emotion?
Guilt.
Yes. We had an interesting debate about this earlier. Do we think, so if Toby yesterday destroyed one of my shoes yesterday, just totally tore it apart. I came home and he stood in the middle of the death of my shoe and stood there and was like so excited to see me. Do you think he felt guilty? When I responded with rage, do you think he was afraid he was going to get hit?
Yeah.
Yes, punished, absolutely. So dogs don't really experience guilt. Who here has ever experienced guilt? We have it. That would be a complex emotion, which is going to be a frontal lobe emotion. So something we can experience that animals can experience. I think we should get away with guilt. Don't you think that'd be nice? If you didn't feel guilty about things, that'd be so nice. No?
That's how you tell like that something's a psychopath.
Yeah.
They don't feel guilty.
That'd be terrible.
Still kill
So
villages.
it says
So like,
everybody.
I got a lot though. I'd like less than. Fine. I want less guilt. Annie, did you have one?
No, I was just saying that dog like it's the.
Your dog is always guilty, but does it feel guilty?
I sit if I like look at her a certain way, she'll like bow her head down.
Yeah, but that's not guilt. That's just like sadness, I think, because they understand your tones. That's how they read. Like for instance, like Toby only responds to like deep tones. So when I'm talking to Toby and I'm mad, I'm like, "Grr," and like it's so awkward, and so it's more toned. I think it's more. I don't think they experience guilt. Like Toby does whatever Toby wants to do. If I leave his shoe out again today, guess what Toby's gonna do? He's not gonna learn from the last shoe experience. Like, ah man, I felt really bad. Yeah, but that's true. James.
Mine beagle if he does, I understand that like
But is it out of guilt or is it because he knows he's gonna get hit?
oh no, we never hit him when he throws up.
Oh, maybe he just feels bad.
We got hit him when he throws up.
Oh God.
You just don't know. Look at him.
Huh? What do you got?
Can you like condition Toby to where like he wanted to chew up the shoe?
He wouldn't chew up the shoe.
Yeah.
What type of time do you think I have? You think I sit at home all day training my damn dog?
You should tell your dog what her should.
Oh, she's doing a great job. My little man's doing well, but I don't have that kind of time. Maybe during the summer I do, but like when I'm talking about psychology all day, I think I want to go home and talk psychology to my dog. No, I want us to sit on my couch, work on my computer, get the stuff I need to get done, and then just curl up into a ball and go to bed at 9. But that doesn't happen. All right. What else do you need, Skylar? Do you need anything else? How much time do I have? 14 minutes? Not counting down at all, huh?
The one emotion I'd say that pets can't have is
Anger?
never.
yeah.
They're not truly angry. Like if they're ever doing anything violent, it's for survival. It's not
My
anger.
neighbor's dog rages.
No. Toby, my man Toby has raged.
What? What does he rage about? Like what does he have?
Yesterday he was cranky. He was barking and losing. McCrae scared him because he was on the other side of the glass of the door, and he watched him go on the other side, and then he turned around and McCrae was still outside, and he barked and like lost his damn mind and just raged for like 5 minutes. It was too much. All right, what else do you need?
His emotional expression is just like happy.
Yeah. All right, let's do a couple questions on the boards. Let's do boards. All right, on your whiteboard, please tell me. It goes stimulus, physiological response. You express it with the face, then you think about the face's expression, then you label the emotion. What am I? Good. Mary Kate. Facial feedback. When you see the word face, it has to be facial feedback. On your whiteboard, please tell me, you judge how athletic people are before you compete to see if you'll win or not in order to protect your ego. If you think you will win, you talk a lot of smack before. What is that called? You evaluate the group, then you decide whether to talk crap or not. What is it? Oh my god, we're all over the place. What is the right answer, Bella? Satchners. On your whiteboard, please tell me, what is it? I'm afraid because I'm scared. I truly mean when I told you earlier, you need to know these backwards and forwards for tomorrow's test. It's literally the entire test, except for like 2 questions. So 23 questions is based on all this crap. What is it, Mia?
James Lang.
James Lang. What is it when it goes label the emotion, then physiological? Good. What do you got, Valeria? Common sense. On your whiteboard, James Lang theory of emotion focuses on what determinants? What is the first part of the James Lang? Good. Good. What is it? Hannah? Physiological. On your whiteboard, please tell me, according to facial feedback hypothesis, to make yourself happier, you should do what? Good. Matt, what is it? Smile. On your whiteboard, please tell me, what is the 7 universal facial expression?
You draw them.
Do whatever makes you happy today, Smith. Whatever you like. What are they, Mary Kate? There you go. On your whiteboard, please tell me the sequence of cannon barred. Tell me the sequence of cannon barred. Good. What is it, James?
Stimulus, then you start to think about stimulus, then you have the physiological and the emotional at the same time.
Perfect. On your whiteboard, please tell me what is. I see a dog, but it's behind a fence, and I don't have anything to worry about, so I feel calm. What is that an example of? Nick. Satchner, on your whiteboard, please tell me which two are opposites of each other. What time do you people leave? What are they, Macy? What? Please tell me. Skylar knows when she's mad because it makes her break out in hives. She breaks out in hives, so she must be mad. Good. Good. What is it? Chris.
James Lang theory.
James Lang. All right. You're on the couch. You hear weird noises. Your parents are home, so no murder is going to happen tonight. However, if your parents weren't home, you'd behave differently. What is this? Eva. Satchner. On your whiteboard, please tell me. You meet someone, you immediately get butterflies. You obviously have feelings for them. What do we call that? Good. Good. What is it? Hey, James Lang, on your whiteboard, tell me what's the order of Satcher's cognitive arousal? What's the order of Satcher's cognitive arousal? Aren't you glad we're done with this tomorrow? Hello? Then, there you go. That's why you got the look. What?
I'm so confused with the difference between Satchers and Lazarus.
Satchers, you have two things happen simultaneously, and Lazarus is all one continuous stream. That's the basic one. Because they can and they want to. That's the basic big one, yeah. So it goes appraisal, label, physiological. Physiological happens last instead of happens simultaneously. I know. Is it fun? Are you thinking this is fun? On your whiteboard, tell me what's the order of facial feedback? Did we do cognitive meditational yesterday? Yes? Good. Good. Why are they, Bella?
Stimulus, physiological response, express it on your face, think about your facial expression, and label it.
There you go. On your whiteboard, please tell me. Sorry, I'm looking at your test. It's not like I'm trying to be dramatic. All right, please tell me. Oh my goodness, these ghosts are dangerous. Oh my God, I'm in danger. I'm crying. Good. What is it, Hannah? Lazarus. On your whiteboard, tell me the order of Lazarus, please. What are they, Smith?
Stimulus, cognitive appraisal, label emotion, physiological response.
There you go. All right. Please listen to me carefully. I would look over your cognitive meditational tonight. I'll go over it here in just a second. Make sure you know your cartoons. I think we can all agree it's kind of stupid to sit there and do it, but I think today you kind of realize how important they are, yes? And how definitely they're helpful. So please make sure you go through it tonight. Tomorrow, they are due tomorrow. So your test tomorrow is hard. Like the wording is kind of hard, but it's the wording that we're going to use on the AP exam. So there's no point keeping it super, super simple. I did read a couple questions flat off the test to you, and that most of you are doing really well for. I'm expecting you guys to do well because you have come prepared to class, so I appreciate that. If you are not ready for tomorrow's test, you will be rocked. It is a hard test. My lowest scoring test every single year. Mostly because the content is just awful. So let's look at cognitive meditational one more time. So that's the one thing I don't think I did that great at. Alright, so cognitive meditational theory is theory of emotion which a stimulus must be interpreted or praised by a person in order to result in a physical response or an emotional reaction. What that means is, how many things do you hear about on a regular basis? How many things do you actually have an emotional response to? Very, very few. How emotionally spent would you be if you were emotionally invested in everything? It would be exhausting, don't you think? So cognitive meditational theory is saying that before a person is going to have a physical response, you have to interpret it. You have to process the information. Then you have a physical response before you have an emotional response. If when you hear news you don't have a physical response to it, then you're not going to have an emotional response. Okay, so there has to be a physical before there's an emotional response. So, like for instance, have you ever heard something kind of shocking that would kind of surprise you? You didn't really care? No? No, we're just done. And that would be cognitive meditational. Oh my god, I'm enjoying this so much. We were doing well there for a while. We were on like an upward flow, an ebb, and now we've crashed. What? Oh, I got you, Nick. What time do you leave? 1 minute? Oh, 1.5? Wow, you were really keeping that time. So please make sure you are definitely studying for it tonight. Do not chance it. It is a really hard test, and it's a good test. I'm not curving it. It's a good test. It's really on 6 things. Complicated 6 things, but 6 things.
What were the other two that you said we had to study?
Cognitive meditational is on the test, and then your expression. No. Next year, I've already changed it for next year. I like those kids better. So I'm going to go ahead and make it. Thank you, Noah. That's why that's funny, Noah. Or you could take it the other way, Noah, that I like complete strangers more than I like you. It is.